Hey whales, good morning, happy Monday. Let's go over and recap NVIDIA and the markets for today's trading session. For those that don't know me though, I'm a full-time trader. I do these updates every single day. And if you want my actual trades though, come join Discord. I give my exact entries, targets, stop losses, everything that you need here to succeed. So if you need help in figuring out when to get into companies like NVIDIA, Tesla, Palantir, come join. You're going to make a lot of money with us, so we will see you guys here. All right, so with that said, coming into this week, we are expecting NVIDIA and the markets to potentially push higher. We have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finishing off all of a wave 1. And then ultimately, a larger dip is what I'm expecting, an ABC for a wave 2, right? And on this dip, this price needs to hold above the invalidation level, right, guys? As long as price stays above the invalidation level, no matter how deep that retrace is, right, we're looking for additional upside into the future here to at least, right, the 50 back on NVIDIA on a weekly time frame, and I can show you guys that later. But coming from the lows here, right, I see 3 waves, right? I want a 4 and a 5, and it looks like pre-market we're starting to push higher, right? So we really need to break that 3 to get that 5th wave in, and then I'll be more confident that we have a bullish structure from the lows. So ultimately, from the 3-wave swing, right, we're looking at potentially 117, right? 117 up to 122 as a potential landing target, right? It can go higher, right? It can go lower, but this is sort of what I like, and it makes sense if you take a look on the left side that, you know, we have some resistance here. So let's see, right? Let's see what it can do, you know, moving forward here. But I like it a little bit higher, okay? So what should you do? Well, for the Discord group, right, we're in at the lows here at 98. We also longed at 107 here as well. So we're looking to, you know, potentially get that 5th. Now, if you haven't gotten in yet on NVIDIA, what you can do is essentially long the A wave as well as the C wave with a stop loss underneath the invalidation level at 85, right? So this is sort of your setup pushing forward if you haven't gotten into NVIDIA as of yet, right? So we're looking to see whether or not, you know, these choppiness, right? Expect maybe a month to sort of all this structure to play out, right? There's going to be still a lot of time here, so don't rush for this to essentially, you know, make its move. If I go to the weekly time frame, let's go to the weekly on NVIDIA here, right? So again, we're looking at all of a wave 1, WXY, finishing off for a wave 2, looking for intraday higher for all 5 waves to be in, for an ABC to come down, and this dip to hold the validation level, right? So we want to see something like this, and then the markets are going to decide. Once NVIDIA reaches the 50 back, so anywhere between, let's say, or like, you know, 128, this would be a pretty good level, right? NVIDIA is going to either do something like this, right, and push lower, or it's going to hold the higher low and consolidate at 169 before it tries to push up to 194, guys. Okay, I would really love that. That'd be awesome, but this is the main path that I'm looking at. Okay, so expect a lot of sort of choppiness, right? And then if it does push up to 128, expect this to be the bear zone. Okay, you can also take a look at Bitcoin, right? Very similar structure to NVIDIA right now. We have a bullish divergence that formed from the 3 to the 5 for the C wave. So you can see on a daily time frame, let me get rid of some of these strongs from the last video. All right, you can see from the daily time frame, okay, you can see that price has actually went lower, but indicators on the RSI actually pushed higher, right? You see that bullish divergence. So that's a good sign to me, right? That's a good sign to me that this is possibly the lows, and we'll possibly have a bullish cycle towards the highs here in just a little while, right? So it's either going to take this blue path to the red for that double correction. So same thing on NVIDIA, right? When Bitcoin reaches the 50 back, which is about, let's say, 96K, right? So 96K is sort of that main pivot point. Either it's going to do a double correction for that red path, or we're going to hold that higher low, push up to 117, consolidate, and then ultimately 131. Okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. So until then, I think this bullish, or this structure is still bullish. Any dip should be a buy against the invalidation level lows, right, for NVIDIA. Okay, so any dip, right, should be a buy, stop loss underneath the invalidation lows. Okay, so let's see, guys. Let's see over the next few days here, right? Expect higher in the first maybe a few days, and then maybe towards the later half of the week or early next week, expect a dip before it makes a decision, right? So we'll see whether or not this happens, and I'll keep you guys updated every single day. Again, come join Discord, guys, right? You're going to make a lot of money with us. You're going to get the perfect entries. You're going to get my entries. So yeah, see you guys there.